One day Peter Sam wasn't feeling well and Mr. Percival had to speak to him. "None of the engines here can take your train as they are busy themselves. So I have no choice but to buy another engine." Mr. Percival went to a workshop where there were narrow-gauge engines lined up. He soon picked the red tank engine in the middle. His name was Duncan and he used to work in a factory. Mr. Percival took Duncan to the sheds to meet Peter Sam. "This is Duncan. He will be doing your work while you aren't feeling well." Duncan had to hurry with his train as it was running late already. When he was at the station he saw Neville arrive in the station. After his visit to the works 2 years back, he had a habit of going right through the platform and today was no different. "Sorry. It happens sometimes. You must be new. What's your name?" "My name is Duncan and I think here's a scrap metal." Neville was shocked. Duncan laughed and ran off. Spending all those years in a factory has made Duncan very rude indeed. Whenever he went too fast he did this thing called rock and roll. It was basically where he moved from side to side which could often lead to an accident. He was going through a tunnel when it happened. He came right off the rails. Luckily no one was hurt but Duncan had to wait for Scarloey to come by with the crane. After Duncan was put back on the rails he left very quietly. That night after Scarloey told the others what happened they all began to laugh. Duncan was not happy about this. The laugh he heard the loudest was Rusty's. Duncan began to not like Rusty and complained to James the next morning. "Rusty was laughing at my accident last night. Diesels are evil. I know the feeling. One crept into our yard last year and I soon sent him packing." Sent him packing. Duncan had an idea. But he didn't know James was lying. In reality, Charlie and Stafford played a big role and James had nothing to do with Diesel being sent packing. Duncan repeated those 3 words to himself but didn't notice a bad piece of track just outside the city. Duncan derailed once again. Rusty was sent to help. He was annoyed by this as he heard Duncan talking to James at the station. He soon got to Duncan. "Rusty? Can you please help me? I'm sorry I was rude to you." Rusty accepted Duncan's apology and tried to get him back on the rails. "Shall we form an alliance? You help me and I help you." "Right you are." "Good. That's settled." And buffer to buffer the Allies finished taking the passenger train together.